Top of evening to you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of State of the State on this channel. I am Sunday Kolawole. Today, our focus will center on effective policing of Ondo State. And of course, who else will be leading the conversation, if not the Commissioner of Police in Ondo State, CP Adebo Alilawal. Thank you so much for joining me on State of the State.
Thank you so much.
Let's start from the very beginning. You came into Ondo State and then there were controversies about your coming. Some said you were posted here to take over from your predecessor, who the authorities felt shouldn't have given audience to a popular activist, Omoyele Sowore. But you said it's a normal posting procedure. Not many people believe you. Let's hear from you.
Well,
what exactly
I think there was
truth?
a misconception as far as that is concerned, and I think I was able to clear the air that posting of senior officers, in fact, generally in Nigerian police is a routine.
Was that a coincidence?
It's maybe mere coincidence. That's why I say it was a misconception. And I'm happy my predecessor even stated it clearly, that it has nothing to do with somebody removing him, somebody replacing. It was a routine, and I came in just like he came in to take over from his own predecessor. So, yeah, coincidence.
Coming to Ondo State, let's forget the fact that you're Yoruba, but then how well do you know the terrain of Ondo State? If you don't know a place, it will be difficult for you to really lead policing in that place.
Yeah.
How well are you familiar with Ondo State?
But I want to say this, wherever you find yourself, you have to just key in. But however, let me quickly say this, that I've served in the Edo State. I started my policing in Edo State 3 decades ago. And I was able, through my sojourn there, I was also defunct anti-robbery in the command of Edo State Command. Okay. And I had the opportunity of being the OC, defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad in the same Edo State. So I cover my operational activities. I take him in one way or the other to Ondo State. So I know the terrain very well. From Benin down to Ore. We always come in maybe on patrol to arrest suspects, to do this one way or the other. So and my family too is along this road. So I understand the terrain, and because the Ondo Central, that's Ondo, Akure, is a place I've visited severally. Then, so it made it easier for me to look at, okay, Ondo North, that's Akoko. As this Owo. Of course, Owo. If you are coming from Benin, you must pass through Owo, you must pass Ifon. Whether you want to pass from Ishan land, you must come out at Ifon. Okay. Whether you are coming from Benin, pass Oluku, pass Naifo, pass Onwa, you must still pass Ifon. So I can tell that I understand Owo. I understand the terrain. Then Ondo Township, I understand the terrain. So it's not left with Akure and Akoko.
So how well have you integrated yourself since you came in there?
In fact, a lot. I can, even if I'm sleeping and I'm going to Akoko and I wake up, I'll be able to tell you this is where we have gotten to. Then when you talk about Ondo South, that's Elaje, Seudo. Of course, I've visited the severally. Because you know we have been engaging in the community leaders. Okay. So in fact, I've gone around almost all the central districts in Ondo State.
A tree does not make a forest, they say. Let's talk about interagency collaboration, especially the police is seen as the leading agency when it comes to internal security. But then you cannot do it alone. How well have you been able to look into issues of interagency collaboration as against interagency competition?
You see, everywhere I've ever been to, I've always stated it clearly, that police, we don't consider anybody as our rival. Okay. No rivalry, no competition. Because we are working towards the same goal. The protection of lives and property of every citizen in Nigeria, by extension, and Ondo State in particular, as far as I'm concerned, because I cover Ondo State Command. And, you know, in Ondo State, we have these meetings. We meet on a monthly basis. All the 6 agencies meet at one department or the other. In fact, the peace we are enjoying in Ondo State is not a mere coincidence. It's because of the mutual respect, understanding, and that robust synergy existing between, that collaboration existing between all the security agencies. You cannot be surprised. Severally, we have seen police and civil defense on an operation, police and military operation, police in immigration. We have exchanged suspects one way or the other. We have carried out operation one way or the other. DSS, the same thing, sharing intelligence. So it's been very, very peaceful, very smooth.
All right, I'll come back to you sharing intels later, but you're talking about seamless relationship, interagency collaboration.
Even with state, non-state
How
actors.
well does that, even with
non-state actors, yeah.
What do you mean by non-state actors?
And when I talk about non-state, I'm talking about the Agbekoyas, the Amotekun, the local vigilantes, the Nigerian forest guards. As a matter of fact, up north there, Ondo North, we are working assiduously collaborating with the non-state actors, Nigeria forest guards, the local vigilantes, the Amotekun, the Agbekoyas. There are a lot of suspects we have arrested alongside with those other non-state actors.
What is the level of relationship between the Nigerian police and Amotekun in those states?
I think it's improving. It's improving.
It's
unlike
improving.
Unlike what I meant.
Unlike what you meant.
Yes, because now.
But there's still room for improvement.
There's still room for
You agree there are still rough edges.
Of course, but
what is causing these rough edges?
I think the issue is maybe the followers, and because of what I've been on ground, everybody's seen it as a police and Amotekun competing in the space, but we are not competing. Everybody has his own schedule. Amotekun is a state. How will I put it?
Security agency.
Security, whatever. So, whichever and don't forget, community policing. So that is why we embrace all non-state actors. So the earlier everybody understands that, the better for us. So I'll be able to work together. And okay, you have your limits. Don't cross it. But like I said, it's improving, and there's still room for improvements.
What are the areas that still need improvement?
There are some
especially because when you look at it, there are lots of issues that people keep talking about, like as rough edges between the police and especially Amotekun. Why are there still rough edges between the police and Amotekun? Why is there no complete synergy, as it were, between these two agencies?
I think the issue is there are some issues, maybe there are some incidents or cases, so to say, that they should understand. Yeah, it is a fact, not contestable. Even every civilian, I'm not talking about uniform, conventional security agency, can make arrest. When you see somebody committing an offense, when somebody plans to commit an offense, when somebody has already even committed that offense, you arrest and hand over to police. So now, let's now fast forward. All non-state actors should know that once you arrest, there are some cases that may not be able to pursue to the logical conclusion. Especially when it goes beyond the expectation, or when you want to go out to go and effect arrest. Maybe somebody commits an offense in Ondo State now. I want to go to Edo. You need police. Even sister agencies, they know. I remember those the CFCs, when they want to go out outside the country, they come to police to get letters. Maybe the Interpol will assist them to go there. So that's it. So everybody, the non-state should know, regardless of the nomenclature, should know. Once you arrest, hand over to police. There are some cases you might not be able to pursue. It's exclusively for the police to prosecute. And when you want to go beyond the state, you need somebody, because you cannot go to Edo State now and say you are this. They will first ask you, are you a police officer? So that's it.
The state of health of the head determines and dictates the state of health of the entire body, and that goes to say that the mutual nature of respect that exists between you as the head of the police and the head of Amotekun in Ondo State will translate into what operates
exactly,
among their...
You will obviously cascade.
Very well. Yeah. So what is the state of respect? Is it, how mutual is the respect between both of you?
That's what I'm telling you, that we have, there is an improved working relationship, both personal working relationship between the head of police and head of Amotekun. I was in the I visited the Amotekun commander, I think 2 days back now. I was in his office. So that is to show you that at least there's an improvement. I'll continue to improve on it. I was in his office.
How well do you also
and he has equally visited too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he has already spoken to that. Yeah. So what was the level of orientation that both of you are giving your personnel? Because it's very important.
That is there we go. You see, in some years back, you see military, police, the junior ones, trying to cause this bickering, But then, with time, you can see police and military. There is no longer at loggerheads, because we have given our men that look. There's no competition. Play your part nicely, and they play their part nicely. If you see a senior military officer, give him the compliment he deserves. Same thing with police. Ministry too has educated. So I think that is an area to have to improve on. And that's why I'm saying there is still room for improvement.
When would you do
so
that?
We have started visiting each other. And we have started working together. Like when I went to Ekiti, Okitipupa,
Okay, Okitipupa.
on the community, to engage the community leaders there. The Amotekun operatives, they were there. I was at Owo, they were there. We are carrying that operation together. So with time, it will blend. You understand? The officers will see. Then we have another operation we are doing together at Akomu also.
Okay.
Where we have the military, we have the police, we have the civil defense, we have the Amotekun. You know, so we continue to educate our followers that look, our junior ones, that look, when you say police officer, forget about whether you are Amotekun or whatever, look at the shoulder and give him the respect he deserves. And the same thing with police, of course. Whether you are Amotekun, you are Gbekoya, it behoves on us as Omoluabi to respect our elders.
After we're in the southwest.
After we're in the southwest. So
That's
the bottom line is the safety, that is very germane. The safety of the good people of this
So
state.
every officer must first know that that is the nucleus of the operation.
That is the core duty, the core responsibility of every uniformed person or anybody engaging in the security services.
CP Adeboye, you talked about something that's very interesting. Community engagement, going here and there. You visited Okitipupa, you visited Owo, and so on and so forth. But let's talk about the grassroots.
Yeah,
The people of Alaibatoro in Akure North local government area, they're not happy. And that is because of the attacks that some elements, suspected criminal elements, met to them. Just recently, 3 farmers were killed in that community. And they are wondering, what exactly is the police doing to arrest this situation?
you see, I want to say this, that since I came on board, the issue of banditry, killing, whatever inside the forest, had reduced drastically. And it's not mere coincidence because of the efforts we have put in place. We strategize, we rejig our system and see. Now, it was unfortunate that those 3 young men, or those 3 farmers, lost their lives. But don't forget that Allah and Ondo North generally surrounded by vast mangrove forest. So it becomes difficult to enter. But that is why I mentioned earlier that we have the police, the military, Amotekun, civil defense, joint task force, and we have motorcycles attached to the operatives there. Those security agencies there. So it enables them to patrol inside, go to the forest because of the terrain. But then, that is one of the challenges. The topography of that area makes it a bit difficult for us to patrol that area. And that is why we are talking about this issue of the Nigerian forest guards, the local vigilantes. Of course, nobody should leave it for police alone. But we accept. They always push it on. I mean, they blame.
But I'm wondering why those people who want to perpetrate crimes do not see the difficult terrain before they perpetrate their crimes. But security agents, because the place is difficult, you cannot enter the place. But the people who perpetrate crimes, they go in there. Why is it difficult for you?
Good. It's very simple. The terrain, they operate within that area. So they understand it better. It's just like when I'm talking about, I'm sorry to mention, there's those people rearing cattle, cows. They're always within that forest. So they understand the terrain better. But police, you go in, you come out. So as I'm watching them, they could surveillance on us too. So even before you respond to that piece, the havoc has been wreaked on them. So that's one of the challenges we're having. So it's unfortunate, like I said.
Isn't it just safe to say that police has been reactive instead of being proactive?
I think it's both ways. Because we have engaged, we have taken some strategies, adopted some strategies, like we have motorized patrol vehicle, motorcycle. We have engaged in bush combing. But when you are talking about bush combing, you can't be in the bush for 24 hours. You go, you come out. Probably, these people that are watching, as they are coming out, they are coming out from their hideouts. And don't forget, all this area, like I said, it's very thick forest. So it's easier for them to stay there because they know what they want to do. Of course, we don't have anything, so it's sort of surveillance, a camera CCTV to know who is hiding on a tree or who is hiding in a cave. If you go to this Owo side now, you see some mountain cave where somebody can easily hide in. So that's one of the challenges, and that's why I cannot say that okay, oh, nobody should put it. Let me put it. Nobody should put it. Oh, it's because police we are not proactive. We are proactive to a large extent, and we are both reactive. Because we have made arrests over there severally, both within Alahazis or Hazis, Ikare Akoko Hazis. We have made arrests.
If you you just claim that going to some places in Oaxis, on the north axis, you find some caves where people will hide and all. What did you do to those things?
Yeah, that is why we are trying to see now. Yeah, the government has promised, His Excellency, Executive Governor of Ondo State, Honorable Dr. Lucky Orimsai, has promised, has assured us that will provide drone for us. That will make the job easier for us operationally. Okay. Be able to apply, use technology, and be able to locate the people easily and fish them out. So we have put the security agencies. Let me not run out to police because, like I said, it's a collaborative effort between the police and rest. Okay. We have put in efforts. We have done bush combing. We have done aggressive patrol.
Were you aware of that before it leaked?
No,
Did it get to you before it leaked?
No.
Or you got to know about it when it leaked?
When it leaked. But before then, do you know how many of those threats that we were able to deal with? We were able to. Well, because this one, that's why people, and that is why I want to say this, we were not happy, like God, because it created a sort of panic. There's several, the other one or two or three occasions that you receive such now, but we have dealt with them decisively without anybody knowing. But this one is sort of, there was a panic, and we were not happy about it. And that's, we were compelled not to redouble our effort, because if there was any slightest thing that happened, they say, oh, and they were alerted. They will now
double your efforts.
Yes, because
so was it a blessing in disguise then that it was leaked? Don't you actually double your efforts?
No, what I'm saying is this: we have been doing it, but look at these people are saying this. Why I use the word redouble our efforts is because we look at now this thing has come
to the public
domain. What do we do now? So rather than say maybe we have been deployed like 2 teams to a particular spot now. We're like, okay, this one, if it happens, they say, oh, they've been warned. So we're now compelled to say, okay, put all our center. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. And again, even before then, like Ondo North now, I've held several meetings with the community leaders there. And I want to say this categorically. The Sunday preceding the October 1st, I was at Ayegunle.
Ayegunle Oka.
Yes, meeting with some community leaders there from the north. That okay, yes, there's this whichever way, this assumption. Okay, most people the assailants were from the north. You understand? And again, we look at it. The topography, that's north, Ondo North. We share boundary with Kogi. So that has been even before now. You have always focused on that area. When we look at what I mean in Kogi, we don't want a situation where we'll be caught napping. You understand? So I was there. We met with them severally. And when this one happened, look at, okay, it is a work in progress. We have to meet with other ones again, Eriti, Okeagbe, and so on and so forth. Isu Akoko, Oyin Akoko. So all those places have been places where we have visited before. But when we look at, okay, could it be that these people they are studying us? Like, okay, no problem. Work in progress. We have to go back there again, meet with them again, meet with them in Owo. Because those are the 2 places we can meet, Akoko and Owo. Meet with them and see bush combing, engage services of Nigeria Forest Guards. In fact, they said that I even promised, which of course I'm going to fulfill, I think maybe tomorrow, the Nigeria Forest Guards, to show that the terrain to the forest too, it's a bit difficult. I promised to give them motorcycles to assist them in their pushing activities.
Well, that's not the way to go, I must say. But before we leave this issue, recently Kwara became the hotbed of insecurity. As a matter of fact, it became a concern to many governors, even in the Southwest. In fact, Southwest governors had to call themselves and say, look, we must redouble efforts in terms of security. But the police are at the forefront of this matter. Are you also taking that into consideration in your mapping of strategy?
I've said it earlier, that you see, you look at Ondo. Ondo is bordered with Shariman, so to say, Kogi, Edo, Ekiti, Osun, Ogun. And that informed why we strategize and look at we have to fortify our border towns. And police do not do it alone, especially look at Ayiri also. Sharing border with Kogi. Whether Ayiri, is it Ayiri also? You have the military there. Okay. We have our police there. We have the Mopo there. We have to fortify the area. We have to fortify Isuakoko, Onyakoko, as well. We have to engage.
Fortify. What do you mean by this?
I mean, increase the security. The
number of
personnel there, we have to increase. We don't have choice.
Well, when you say increase, I keep wondering how well you are actually really increasing. Because when we also look at the issues that have been causing concern, the number of personnel attached to VIPs, vis-a-vis the number that should really be doing the work, aren't you also bothered? How well are you then fortifying in terms of number of personnel?
We see the hallmark of a good manager is to manage the resources he has with him at every point in time. Don't bother ahead about what you cannot have. Okay. The one with you, manage them effectively. And that is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So you're able to manage, we are managing what you have on ground, because you know there is no number of police officers you can have that will be enough. That is basic truth. Because every now and then our communities keep expanding. Job creation, industries keep springing up. Our youth keep passing out. Except we are not praying for development. That we say we want to have enough police officers. Yes, now, let's say the community now expanding. What do they need police posts? What do they need police station? We'll be compelled to post people there. Industries are springing up. We need to protect the people working there, and so on and so forth. So what I'm saying, well, we have to strengthen. So we are making good use of the ones we have, and that's the hallmark of a good manager.
Well, CP, I'm also bothered about something on behalf of the people, and that's the fact that car theft is becoming seriously concerning. I'll give you an instance. There's a residential estate called the Japo Estate here in Akure. There's even a police station right there with them there.
Yes, by the estate.
Just by the estate gate. Yet, the rate at which car theft is even happening there is alarming. What exactly?
I want to say this. The word alarming. I want to say
you
this.
Want to disagree?
I disagree with you.
If it's not alarming, just if it's not alarming, why will the community now erect signposts that car theft on the rise? Your cars are parked at your own risk and all of that. At almost every corner.
Is a common thing. If you go to hotels now, they tell you that car parked at the owner's risk.
But they will not write car theft on the rise.
Doesn't mean anybody can. It's a matter of semantics. It's a matter of semantics. Okay. As a matter of fact, as far as we are concerned, so far so good, we've recovered more than 35 stolen vehicles, both within and outside.
Where was that?
Within.
Just this year or where?
Just since I came on board. I want to give an example. Just 2 days back, somebody hired the vehicle, shutter.
Okay.
And the person who hired the vehicle told the driver to come to a restaurant where they were washing the motor to give him a bottle of Coke or a bottle of drink. And before you know, he drugged him. And the motor was recovered in Abuja.
From Akure to Abuja?
Yes, to Abuja. Just 2 days back here. And a lot more. There are some vehicles even snatched from. There are several vehicles. There was a truck stolen from this Akure 2023. That was recovered from the north. There are another vehicle stolen here about 11 years ago that we've recovered. You understand? So what I'm saying is we have recovered. But if we are talking about that particular area, they too should look inward.
They too should look
inward. I told the estate managers, I mean the executive, let me say the word executive of that estate. They were in my office, and I told them they should look inward.
What do you mean looking inward?
Yes, who are those staying in that estate? They are what? They are kids. So they should look inward. So the blame should not be entirely on police, because it's community policing. It's not bad. What about those security guards manning their gates? What about the porous gates they have behind them? Yes. So it's not everything should not be heaped on police. They have security by the gates, by the entrance. They have other outlets. How are they being manned? Don't forget, Ijapo covers, that is one of the numerous places beats. We call it beats. With man in that area. So if it's happening in the Jakpo, that estate, they should look inward. And that's what I told them when they came to my office. They should assist us. There are some abandoned houses in that place, buildings in that houses. Who are those occupying there?
Abandoned.
Abandoned in that estate.
How well are the executives of the estate cooperating to look into this matter then?
Well, I've told them, giving them a task to, the abandoned structures, how do we get rid of those occupying? How do we get across to the owners? That should be the responsibility of the people running the affairs of that estate.
Are you by any means trying to say that car theft isn't happening in some other places, but then it's just on the rise, like they also wrote in their estate?
You see, that's why I said it's a matter of semantics. It depends on what they mean by on the rise.
Perhaps it's becoming so concerning and discomforting. That's why they are now raising.
In the last 3 weeks now, I've not even received any case of car theft from that area. So how is it on the rise? We have not. How is this on the rise? People should talk about what about the ones that we are able to recover. The motorcycle, the arrests that we've been able to make. It's been interesting to know that people come from outside the state, from southwest, and we have been able to arrest, and we have made it clear to them that Ondo State can never be a safe haven for criminals.
I've heard that more than 20 times.
Yeah, but I'm still restricting it.
I've heard that even from people who have sat on your seats in the past. I've heard that from many security operatives, and at the end of the day, we still have.
And yes, that's why I'm telling you that. Okay, look.
How well are you making good your promise and not just a threat?
Good. I walk the talk. I walk the talk. Lately, this week, this week alone, we have arrested about 5 or 6 all these bike snatchers.
Bike snatchers?
Yes. And they came from neighboring states. Just before I came here now, there was one that came from Kogi. He snatched a motorcycle at Okeagbe. He was arrested. There was another one from More that we arrested. There was another one within Oda that even stabbed the owner of the motorcycle. Arrested. And a lot more like that. In fact, Ijakpo, because you mentioned Ijakpo, Ijakpo DPO recovered 4 motorcycles from one felon who came from Ekiti. He has just recovered 4 motorcycles. As I speak with you now, the record is there.
Well,
so what I'm talking about it, so you can see, we are not just lying low. Say, okay, just laissez-faire attitude, so to say.
Sometimes these crimes don't just get committed with rickety vehicles. Sometimes you find very clean, nice, luxurious vehicles with number plates covered. As a matter of fact, in Delta State, you'll find a lot of work being done as far as that is concerned. Just yesterday or thereabout, a clean, neat bus was arrested. Guess what? Controlled drugs, contrabands in that bus. And because of the covered number plate and all of that, why is it difficult to also track that?
I don't think I don't. It's not.
Okay, it's not difficult. It's
not difficult because even we here, we have been able to arrest contravened vehicles with government plate number being driven by individuals who are not in any way connected to governments. Ekiti, Osun, to be precise.
Brought into Ondo
State.
Okay.
And the one we arrested, a pickup SUV that had a plate number from a state government, whatever. We arrested, contravened the vehicle, and we discovered that in the course of investigation, we discovered that he has no bearing with the state government. And we recovered some drugs, and the guy was charged to court.
You recovered what?
If the vehicle and some particles, all these little
hard
drugs, and he was charged to court. And one from Osun State too, that used plate number, Osun State plate number, or a local government in Osun State, drove it here, and we impounded it. And of course, not only that, even the students' body too.
Okay.
Okay. Is it NYC, whatever they call themselves? I was called out.
Nouns and so. In fact, you find some number plates, presidency.
Good. And that will let them understand that, look, these ones, they are fake numbers. Because all these ones you are seeing, they are attached to somebody. You want to see the paper. That also was the PRO. I think he made the press release on that. So we are not looking at it because we have been given that marching order by the IGP, PDM, PM, that anything blinded plate number you should do a thorough check on those things, on those vehicles, and we are doing it. In fact, as a matter of fact, very soon we are going to come out in full force. We are going to come out in full force. We have been doing it, but we want to come out in full force now. You understand? We want to come out in full force. It's not only vehicle, even motorcycle. There was a vehicle that was one of those kidnap suspects we arrested. He bent the plate number. So he didn't cover, but he bent it so that nobody should be able to. What have we done about that? We have met with these Okada riders and tricycle executive members that, look, one, nobody should bend the plate number. Nobody should wear this woody
that covers their face.
Covers the face. Nobody should do that.
How well are they complying?
Oh, of course they are complying.
How well are you also monitoring? Because it's also important.
Of course we are monitoring. That's why we have some motorcycles within our divisions here and there. Once you impound, we will investigate you. If you are found wanting, we will charge you to court. If you are found culpable, found that's the right. We will charge you to court. So they are complying, and we are doing it, and we have made the people at the helms of affairs to understand that, look, not only that, aside that, we said they should have their apron.
Okay.
Apron, so that you have the number. There should be a connection. So once you have the motorcycle, you have your number, you have your apron, you register, you're able to trace you. So even if you commit,
who does the registration?
No, I think they have this something union, something business, or whatever in the government house. So they are doing it.
So how well is the police also in getting involved in this process so that you're able to also match registration number?
No, the issue is we have that synergy.
Oh, okay.
There's that synergy.
Okay,
I want to go further. Now, before I left office, they were talking about the time limit. I want to see, yes, what kind of order should not go beyond 7 o'clock in the evening? What are you looking for after 7 in the night? What are you working? Because it's better we control the operational activities, their business activities. So that, Okada is easy. They can maneuver, enter anywhere easily. So we want to see. And we have also educated in the course of this community engagement, we have let people understand that, look, when somebody calls you, stops you, and wants to take you to a particular place, and is offering you money, a fare, more than what ordinarily should have offered you.
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
Well, CP I must also say that I've heard this more than 5 times.
Okay.
Okada riders cannot operate beyond this time, and then you still tell them, okay, this is the only time you can operate, and all of that. I've heard that countless times. Unfortunately, there's never a time that authorities will come out and say, okay, the ban on operation between this time and that time has been lifted. But you just find everything go back to normal without due communication of such policy. What exactly are you driving at?
I want to say this. It's not going to be business as usual. Let's start. Once we start, we'll see.
When do you want to start?
Very soon.
Now, if you start, you see, there's also the human face to everything we do. I'm also concerned about the attitude, the disposition, the orientation of your officers, especially in implementing such orders. How civil would they be in also doing their job?
That is why you want to, charity begins at home. You want to take off our own first before we go out in full force. If it works in Lagos, why will it not work in Ondo State? There are some areas in Lagos you cannot just ride Okada to, and it works, it worked, and it's still working. So why should we not work in Ondo State? So if you say, oh, it was like that, I'm telling you, it's not going to be business as usual. Let me just say this. We talk about, we've had it 5 times, 6 times. I don't know whether I want to jump the gun, but look at a case of court registered activities in Ondo State. Before my arrival, it's always battle between, especially Owo and Ondo. But in the last 2 months, have you ever heard about their conflict, their fights? No.
So what did you do?
Yes, that is our strategy now. I don't have to divulge all this.
You've done something.
You've done something, and that is why 6th June, there was no crisis. 7th July, there was no crisis. 8th August, there was no crisis. So I'm telling you that this issue of Okada is not going to be business as usual, and I mean it. It's not going to be business as usual. You see where we start it.
Well, before I continue this line of conversation, I like to divert a bit, and then I digress rather, and let's look at something. How well are you taking the discipline of your officers?
Discipline is the bedrock of the force. Many officers are faced of the room. Some are still facing. But while we are studying, we are balancing it.
Okay.
Punishing the airy ones, the castriant ones, and rewarding excellence. I'm sorry to say this, but it's interesting that the PRO seated here was won an award. I think that was September.
Okay.
Himself and the DPO Ikare Akoko. They were both awarded for their professionalism in the charge. So we balance it. Okay. So we have zero tolerance for indiscipline, for unprofessional conduct. So we are balancing it. If you goof, run out of the law, do something contrary to the police rules and regulation, you face it.
Okay, police rules and regulation,
yes.
Even apart from the ground norm.
Apart from the ground norm. And if civil to members of the public too, we don't take it lightly. Yeah, because if I say, you see, it takes two to tango. And how do they put it? What you won't take, don't do to others. If I think you are uniform, you want to slap somebody or be oppressive, because you know somebody cannot, maybe you slap you cannot retaliate because it will be out of respect for uniform. Why do you want to take advantage of that person? So if they have a complaint of instability and it's investigated and you are found culpable, you face it.
How well have you been able to deal with political interference in your line of job?
I want to say this since I got to, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm lucky, but then, even if any matter comes there, you know, you have signed oath of allegiance. You'll be able to discharge your responsibility without fear or favor, without any outer bias.
Okay.
So,
all right, let's come back to this issue. You've talked about the issue of border policing and all of that. It seems that criminal elements are really concentrating on border communities. You talked about fortification of those places. How about, you see, while growing up, there are times we hear about police posts in this community, in that community, especially when there's an issue. Do you think that will still work now?
It's working for us because, you know, the police post, you have presence of police, and so mere presence of police will serve as deterrent to criminal. And that is why we keep expanding. And that's why I'm telling you that police can never be enough. As we are talking like this now, this community wants outposts, this one want police posts. We are ready to give. We're going to give them. So that's why the more we have, the more we continue to post, the more we continue to create more police posts, even the upgrade the outpost, the police post to divisional headquarters.
CP, police is your friend.
Yeah.
It's a popular slogan.
Yeah.
How friendly actually is the police to people? And while being friendly to people, how well does the police also deal with issue of some civilians serving as informants to criminal elements? Two issues in one, you would say.
Well, let me quickly say this. There is a topic in Nigerian police talk about information and informants. And before you get an informant, before you cultivate informants, you have to study him, because informant could be double-edged sword. People give information for several reasons. Maybe to eliminate that competitor, maybe to deal with the rival, maybe for monetary gain, and so on and so forth. But there are some spirited good individuals who give information to you because they want the best for their country. So now, we have engaged, not only the elders, even the youths. We've met severally with the student body. We have created a platform, Police Student Relations Committee.
Police Student Relations Committee. That's still different from C?
It's different.
Okay.
This one is exclusively for the students and the police. PCRC is for the community.
Entire community.
Entire community. And of course, in fact, we have a very good, we have a super active chairperson, the police PCRC Ambassador Areyo. He's from Makoko side, very, very active. It's always everywhere. And we meet with them regularly. part of what I did yesterday, by this time yesterday, I was at Ondo, community engagement. Like I said, I've been to Akoko, I've been to Tipa, I've been to Ondo. It's only remaining, the grand finale will be in Akure, the community engagement. So I was engaging the elders, the community leaders, we are engaging the youths. And that's one of the things working for us. Because the youths are, let me use the crisis in that accident in Akumba as a reference point. That accident, even because of the good relationship between the police and the student, the youth at large, Akumba, that day I don't know what will have happened when that father that claimed about 8 lives and destroyed so many things. When I got there, they saw me out of that respect and love for police. They were able to at least listen to me, calm down their nerves, and they allowed us to do whatever I wanted to do peacefully. We did the construction, we replaced the barriers, and I left there I think after 6.
Well, CP, before I let you go, there's also another issue we must not fail to talk about. That this influx of scavengers, especially even in government reserved areas, you find them, and most times you also find them committing serious crimes, putting generating set into sacks and all of those other things that you must have also seen those things. How well are you dealing with this issue?
You see, scavengers are becoming a pain in the neck.
A pain in the neck?
Yes. Because you see, I watched the video clips, not from this state anyway. I think somewhere in the southeast. Yeah, I saw 2 young men. Somebody kept his split account, the one outside, and they destroyed the anger with a view to removing that box, sort of. I think the government, Ondo State government, did something about it as well. About 2 weeks ago, they set up a committee and wanted to look into activities. But beyond that, we've sensitized. When I was at Owo, the issue was raised. And I told the scavengers, their leaders, that no, we are not saying you should not do your work, but then you are going beyond the scope of your job. You just go there, vandalize this, vandalize that, and you pick this, you pick that. No, it's not done. You see, we go to a mechanic workshop where a gearbox is kept. You just, in the name of, you are scavenging. What sort of thing is this? Then in some houses, maybe remote areas, developing areas, you see people entering, cutting the wire, cutting this, cutting that. So we are doing everything possible to curb the excesses of these scavengers.
I can see you're doing a lot about sensitization, mobilization, orientation. Unfortunately, in this country, you find a lot of talk, and the enforcement is always at the lower end. This issue we just talked about, when will enforcement happen on it?
Well, you see,
or is it beyond the jurisdiction of the
when you talk about the bureaucracy, everybody wants to see, set it up, then the legislation, sort of, okay, do this, when you do this, this is the punishment, you understand? Maybe that is part of the thing, but I know the government will come out with a policy, a clear-cut something on that issue. But the earlier we do that, the better for everybody. But on our own part, we are looking at once we are caught, and as a complaint, we know what the appropriate charge to give you in the court. Either we give you an possession, or we give you stealing, or we give you breaking and entry, and so on and so forth. But there should be a pronouncement on that, because they are not eternal. There's a pain, like I said, a pain in the neck.
I see very many news reports, videos emanating from your command, parading suspects and all of that.
We are not parading suspects.
Okay, what have you been doing?
We have only press release. Because we have said no parade of suspects.
So okay, press release. Yeah. Okay then.